Morning, boys and girls around the world. Caught me on a bad hair day, I do apologise. Now, it's round about the middle of February 2023, and I've been out from the garage to the front yard, essentially taking out all my super frames and working out what sort of quality they are. Graded them in 3 stages: A, B, C and D, A being the best, D being the worst. And the theory being that the very first to go on will be the ones to the worst end of the scale, which are the C's. And I want them on the hive as early as possible. Might even put one on today, which is super early, just so the bees can clean them up and repair them before the flow starts. New bees are very good at drawing out comb and do get bored easily, so let's keep them working. That's the theory, as you will see. So here we are in the front. It's a Saturday morning, and I first of all took all the boxes out. As you can quickly see, I'm just looking at the quality of them, give them a bit of a scrape, and then putting them in different piles. As I've mentioned, the best at this end, which is A's, working their way forward, B's, C's, D's, and then the just frames with nothing in them. After which, probably see now I'm writing on the top a little bit of coding, just so I can remember later down the line which box is which. If that makes sense. Okay, viewers, welcome to the untidy mess, which is our garage, which is more of a storeroom garage. Here are my boxes, which are all stored for winter, and I spent the morning just grading them in different categories depending on the quality of the wax. So A being the best, B being not too bad, C being pretty battered, but what's the word? Pretty battered, but in an okay sort of shape, and D just being pretty poor, basically. Here you go. This is a typical C frame. So it's been drawn out once. A lot of that sort of got battered during the harvesting process. Try a few more. As you can see, it's a bit mashed up. And again, just trying to show you a variation of them. This is a C, drawn out and not drawn out. It's on this side, pretty well drawn out, but a bit lumpy, etc, etc. So all of these I'm calling C grades. I've marked them C23, as in the year 23. Again, there's one there, look. Not too bad, that one, weirdly enough. It's almost a B, that one. And this one, again. So that's the quality of the C's. Here we go. These are typical D frames. Not much going off at all. Old wax. Quite brittle sort of stuff. So the worst of these I'm going to dismantle and add new foundation. There we go. Not much going off there, look. These are ones that have been added at the end of the season and nothing much happened. So they started drawing it but didn't get too far into it. So they're D's. B's and A's are clearly in a much better shape. A's themselves are absolutely near perfect, which I will save for when there's a flow on and just chuck them straight on, if that makes sense. So here we are. It's an hour since I put this box on. If we look down into that half, we can see the bees are nicely munching through their fondant. Very gently, I'm going to lift this up. There we go. It's fair to say they're interested. Having a little look up here. Now I would suggest at the moment they're just cleaning off any residues of honey and having a bit of a nosy. But we shall see. We'll come back in a week's time and see how they get on. Morning viewers, 1 week later. The bees are flying. Let me just switch this camera around. Okay, as you can clearly see, the bees are flying, as they have been doing most of the week. The weather's been very mild. Obviously that's important because I don't want them to freeze. Now I'm faffing around putting supers on so early. So I'm just keeping a check on things like that. Meanwhile, let's have a little look. First of all, as you can see, they're munching down their sort of fondant as if it's going out of fashion. So that's that. Secondly, we'll just have a quick look inside. Straight away you can see the bees are in there. What's helping, of course, is that there's no queen excluder. So they're free to walk straight up, which they clearly have done. I don't believe in adding the queen excluder till much later in the season, maybe as late as sort of mid-April. Just gives a chance for the combs to get drawn out. So here we go. So I think now as we take this middle one out, you can clearly see that they made quite an effort drawing out new comb, despite the fact it's only February. The new bees really have not started hatching, so once they come out in the next 2 or 3 weeks, I'll expect things to move much quicker. There you go, look. Don't know how clear it is to see on this camera. Partly as a result of me not holding it up correctly, of course. But, you know, they're starting to draw it out. Nothing too spectacular, but they're all up there, which helps. So I think that's a good start. Sometimes suffer from the bees not wanting to go up to the supers at all, so I don't want to fall into that trap. So let's just take one more out, a little toot of smoke, and just before we put the lid back on. Again, the weather's mild, but I don't want to leave the lid off too much at this time of year. Let all the heat escape. There we go, terrible camera work. You can see my sleeve. There we go, hold it up. As you can see, they're starting to draw out 2 or 3 millimeters worth of comb all the way through it. So I can modestly predict that within 2 or 3 weeks these frames will be back up to pristine condition, ready for when the nectar starts to flow in, I would say, early to mid-April really. So, good news. Just popping this back in again before we stick the lid back on. And, well, very good. I shall see you next time. Happy beekeeping.